Gentlemen, and ladies, we got a bunch of sugar honey iced tea to talk about today. We got to talk about Druski. If you know who Druski is, he's a comedian. He made the funniest church skit I've ever seen in my life, mocking the black church. Nick Sortor's altercation was out of control. We got to talk about that. The fact that states are trying to fight against the ban to transition kids is insane. But before we talk about all that, I need to show you what's happening in Minnesota since yesterday. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning big, you might as well go on today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I want to tell you guys about following me on all the social media platforms. If you're on social media, on TikTok, all that stuff, follow me, The Officer Tatum on there, The Officer Tatum on Substack if you like to read. Also, audio, for people that like audio only on the podcast, just look up The Officer Tatum Show on the podcast. Shout out to Black Line. Shout out to the Officer Tatum store. All those shout outs, man. Y'all go and shop. The links are in the description section. Y'all support. We're going to get into a few things. But first, I want to start with this nut job. How like, when I first saw this clip, I laughed. I said, like, these people are living in an alternate reality. And so this series of the show is going to be about updates from Minnesota. We're going to show you continue to show you some of these crazy leftists that are losing their salvation if they ever had any. We're going to show you these radical ICE encounters where people are stalking ICE, trying to assault them while they're doing their job. Then we're going to get to some sane people like Scott Jennings and others who are putting it in perspective. Let's start with this fool. Roll the clip.
It's not even noon and ICE has already kidnapped 5 of my neighbors. I responded to one where we believe a whole family was taken with children.
Come on,
there
time
are
out.
More
Do you hear how she framed? She said ICE has. This sound like Armageddon. This sound like her home country. That kidnapped 5 whole families. Kidnapped. Like they're framing it like it's me and you at the crib. And we got our family at the house. We just hanging out. And we got somebody kidnapping the whole family before noon. Like, what world are you living in? Play the clip.
In Minnesota than we have of the St. Paul and Minneapolis police combined. And yet, there are neighbors that are showing up in incredible ways, like standing in front of known targeted businesses, helping escort workers home. Today, I'm kicking off one of our first mutual aid grocery runs in my neighborhood. An easy way for folks to get involved, but it's because the workers have been pulled over time and time again, attempting to make deliveries to families that are too afraid to even go grocery shopping. We're also seeing troubling trends where HSI and ICE agents are rolling into city-owned parking lots like our libraries, rec centers, and our SPPD parking lots. If you see this, please record it to the best of your ability and submit to the Ward 5 office. I'll drop the email in the comment below. See you out there.
With full confidence, these people are explaining and encouraging people to break the law. I don't know what kind of material, propaganda that needs to be put in front of their eyes for them to realize that ICE is pulling people over, arresting them, and detaining people with deportation orders. If you ain't got nothing to hide, you have no issues with ICE. If you're illegal, you need to self-deport or they're going to come get you. Let's go to the VER. Let's go to Hot Flash. Roll the clip.
They have some rapid response network training, which the woman who was killed was also doing some of these trainings where you're taught. You can whistle at the ICE agents. You can warn the community. You can video them. They said, legal experts, and I think, Sonny, we talked all morning about this, so I think you'll see this. They say it gets murky when you're blocking roads or physically stopping people. It doesn't make anything they did right,
violation.
but it could go into...
Yes.
So what it is they're saying they're trying to train these protesters that you don't want to be in danger. You can protest, but try to stay away from those head-on conflicts.
The guy shot her anyway.
No, I know.
The guy shot her anyway while she was trying to avoid him. She was just dropping a kid off, got caught in the middle of a traffic jam. And while she was trying to evade, not all that yelling and stupidity she was doing. Let's just act like we didn't see none of that. Whoopee. Do y'all got a computer? I know y'all primitive. You primates, your brain function like you're in the Stone Age, but don't you have a computer? Didn't you see the clip they put out where she was antagonizing and blocking traffic and that other stud that was with her was out there on the side of the road kikiing? Why y'all act like y'all ain't see that? And in front of the world, they shot her anyway. No, they didn't shoot her anyway. Come on, we got Soy Boy on this clip, on this next clip. Roll the clip.
Paul, you came in from Madison, Wisconsin. That's a long drive. Help explain to me why you're here outside of this business.
Other than being
So I'm out here right now because this business put out a call for people to stand on this corner to watch the business for them. They've been really worried about reopening. They were shut down for the past 5 days after ICE was here, and they just aren't comfortable just doing this on their own.
And this is a Mexican restaurant and grocery store. And Paul, I see that you have a lot of equipment on you. You have a camera, obviously. You have another GoPro back here. You've got this acts as a whistle, you were telling me. And you've also got a first aid kit. It would be easy to understand why somebody wouldn't want to be coming out here to do the work that Renee Good was doing after she lost her life. But instead, you drove in 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to be here right now, to be doing this work right now?
Yeah, I have family in this community, so I was really worried about them. They shared their concerns, and they have a young son. They're not able to do this work. They're not able to stand here and watch over the neighborhood. So I'm here for them, for this community. This is what they need. They need to see people in this community out here supporting them, showing them that we are not afraid of this state-sponsored terrorism.
I don't understand. They like the cognitive dissonance that's on full display is just like I don't get it. Like the restaurant was shut down because these people are illegals. His family's afraid of what? ICE doesn't have jurisdiction to enforce state laws. So even if you're doing something, they can't arrest you as a citizen or a citizen of that state. They're only there to enforce federal law. So if you're not committing a federal crime, nobody's even talking to you from ICE. All right. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what it looks like and how they're antagonizing ICE agents, following them. They can't even go to a gas station without them harassing. Let's roll the clip.
Shut up. You good.
Hold on, time out. This is them doing a thing, and this black guy, God is my witness, I would have punched him directly in his face for what he was doing right here. I'm telling y'all, these ICE guys don't want to get in trouble. That's why they're not whooping the socks off of these people. You cannot walk behind a federal agent, a law enforcement officer, the way this guy is, threatening to beat them up, telling them you're going to kill them, you chasing them down. Like you can't do that. Roll the clip.
Shut up. You good. You ain't had that badge on my beat your ass. You good, take your shit in pocket. We do that shit. Stop being scared of me. I'm talking. Clutch your gun. Clutch it, little bitch. You a bitch. Like I said, what you gonna do? Do it. Pull it out. Pull it out. I don't give a fuck. Pull it out.
Time out. He should have turned around and just right in the face. Throw the elbow. You got a hostile person that said, I'm going to beat you. If you take the badge off, I do. He's threatening you. He's using he's being aggressive. He's walking up behind you. He's mentioning your gun and what he's going to do and what you ain't going to. This guy is a threat. You, as an agent, law enforcement officer, you have a right to have distance between these people. Because if at any moment he want to turn that talking into action, he now on top of you already. You got your back turned. You walking away. You can't see what he's doing. He can punch you right in the face. He's too close. And these guys are wussifying their job to capitulate. Punch this dude in the mouth and keep going. They have every right to deck this dude right in the mouth. I'm going to play the clip. Listen, 35 minutes. Look at how he running up on these guys. Like, he nearly touching them. Watch it.
You see the demon in me, bitch.
Look at him.
Pull it out while I'm hard. Do it. Do it. Get in your car, nigga. Get in your car.
Call the racial slurs.
What you saying? Oh, what's up?
Look.
Yeah. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Nigga, what the fuck is you gonna do?
Clenching his fist. Look at him.
Yeah, don't waste no time dying on me.
Look, he gonna shut the door on that
We all
guy.
got shots. What's
He
up?
tried to shut the door on his leg.
What's up? We all got shots. Scary ass. I'll put that K on you, bitch niggas.
I wish one of them would have shot him and killed him right there. And I'd have went down there and I'd have protested on behalf of the ICE agent. I can't stand people like that. You doing all, you see what he doing? He threatening them, which is against the law. He's clenching his fists and posturing in an aggressive stance, which is also against the law, and will necessitate a response. He shut the door on the leg of one of the guys. That's assault. That's a crime. You can't slam the door on the leg of an ICE agent. You calling them racial slurs. You're provoking them to confrontation. I mean, all kind of laws. Is that the way you treat anybody? You go do that in the hood and you see if you still live after that interaction. But they know they ain't gonna do nothing because they got the badge on and they can't just flex on you. So they go and intimidate and do people like that. I would say the same thing if that was a ICE agent doing that to a civilian. You don't treat people like that. You don't gaslight people like that. You don't threaten people when you ain't really gangster like that. I swear to God, if somebody do me like that, you're going to take a nap. And depending on how aggressive you are, you may take a permanent nap. I'm tired of people being soft with you. This is how you get hurt. You letting them run you down on the back. Bro, you can get up. Do you want to die today? Okay, let me get off here before somebody get mad at me. I can't stand these people, man. There is no way somebody running behind me doing what that guy just did. I just lose my job. All right, roll the clip. And they all look the same.
Hey, wouldn't it be better to blow your whistles outside and not be harassing this guy in here? All right, I guess you guys don't care about it.
They don't. Look at them.
Go to hell, go to hell, go to hell. Fucking run. Get the fuck out of Minnesota.
There's a part of me that wish I wish we were living in communism. Just beat these people and just be done with it. Look at it. What are they doing?
committing a federal offense. Eventually, you're going to have to move out of your parents' houses and get jobs, and you don't want a federal arrest charge on your record. Yeah, just make smart choices today, please.
All right, and here's some more. We got some more fun ones. I like to see the ones where they throwing people out of their cars and stuff. Go play this clip. Now they mad. Hold on, they mad. Look how silly these people are. They're going in there to arrest a fugitive, a violent criminal. They had to do a tactical extraction of this person, and these nut jobs are just standing right in the front yard, harassing and antagonizing them while they're doing they were going to do a dynamic entry, but while they're doing obviously a warrant-based extraction of a violent criminal. Look at it. And they out here crying and being stupid. Look at what they did. Guns drawn, forced entry, and they all that in the way. Why my husband? Time out. Lucretia, you know he's selling dope. You know he in there cutting up. What you mean, my husband? You know what y'all in there doing. And you over here sitting there crying, act like you have no idea why these guys have a warrant. You can't enter somebody's house without a warrant like that. This is a tactical team that clearly they coordinated an effort to extract the person which they had a warrant for. And you out here crying and they banging drums. Y'all so stupid that your distraction could cause the ICE agents to make a poor decision that could result in the death of the person that's in the house that's supposed to be your family member. Why would you want to distract men who are doing a job that got guns in their hands, and you want to distract them and make noises where they can't hear and they're not functioning at the best of their ability, and they accidentally shoot your family member, and now what? I hope these people go to hell. I really do. And maybe it's not Christian of me to say that, but I do hope they go to hell. You read the book of David. He prayed that his enemies will fall in the trap that they set before him. It's okay to pray against your enemies. And I hope these people go to hell for what they're doing. They are ruining our country for no reason. It's not my fault you stupid. And you can't take 30 seconds to identify what ICE agents are doing. You can't take 10 seconds to figure out why they got a warrant for somebody and they got the ability to force entry in their house. You can't take 2 seconds to say maybe, just maybe, they're arresting a pedophile. Maybe, just maybe, they're arresting a violent criminal. You can't take 2 seconds to do any research, and yet you threatening the lives of these people, you causing chaos in the street, wasting taxpayer dollar for nothing. All right. Do we got one more? Here you go. Now they harassing these guys at a gas station while they're doing an extraction. Roll the clip.
We're trying to get status. Got Honduran here. We're trying to get status. That's fine. What's his name? 1, 2. I'm gonna break it. Open the door. Open it. Last warning. He's gonna be away. He's gonna be away. Open the door. Hey, go one way or the other. Don't go both ways.
you see all those agents, you know how much money that the taxpayer is burning with having to have triple, quadruple the people to do a basic traffic stop? Like what sense does it make for you to think you're protesting to protect criminals, and then you're paying the tax bill to fund the extraction when your state could cooperate by allowing them ICE to get these people when they're in jail instead of letting them into the community? Keep rolling. I think you guys seen enough. Let's get to some sane people real quick so you don't just completely lose your mind. But Scott Jennings, a retired NYPD officer and a black guy who I don't know who he is, but he probably had the most sane thing to say out of just about anybody. Matter of fact, let's start with the black man, the clip of the black man first, and then we'll go to Scott Jennings.
I haven't seen any Somalis saying R.I.P. Renee Good. Imagine going out there and risking your life for people who don't even care about you. They don't even care. They couldn't care less. You know, you're out there trying to help them. You're out there like blocking your car so ICE doesn't go get the Somalis. And then you get shot and they're like, what was that? Did you guys hear that? I think somebody got shot. Who was it? I think it was a white girl. Oh, who cares? Back to scamming daycares. What are you talking about? White girl. These people don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen, unless somebody can show me like the Somalis saying R.I.P. Renee Good montage. Maybe that's out there. I just haven't seen it yet. But as far as I'm concerned, they don't care about this woman.
They definitely don't care about that woman. Where they raising money to a GoFundMe, they don't give a. She an idiot. She a useful idiot to them. And now she's dead. All right, let me get to the retired police officer NYPD police officer. And he's going to explain justification to the people who are just completely mind gone. Roll the clip.
I went towards the car. I drew my service revolver, pointed directly at the driver, which my training insisted you do. You shoot for center of mass, not expecting to shoot. I expected somebody seeing a uniformed police officer in broad daylight with a gun pointing at him that they would not advance on me. Mm-hmm. The car lunged at me. I fired 3 rounds. The windshield shattered. The car proceeded into the oncoming traffic and killed a motorist coming in the other direction. A motorist, the father of 2, on his way to work. He was killed dead. I missed my target. I didn't hit them. They ducked down, but they chose to lunge and move this. This is a 3,000-pound projectile. It's not just a car. It's a missile coming at me. So my instincts was to fire 3 rounds.
And that's the training, right?
That is the training. Back then, the question is now, why are they shooting so many rounds? Then it was 3-round bursts. We only had 6 shots. We'd fire 3 rounds to see what happened, and then you would reassess the target and fire another 3 rounds.
A very similar situation, but again, you were after a suspect, a homicide suspect, and we're talking about something very different here, but still the same, of a vehicle lunging towards you. And you're right. You wrote in your piece, I mean, it happened in 3 seconds. Yeah. You know, when people are saying, well, why didn't they shoot the tires? And that's a big question that we keep hearing. Why didn't they shoot the tires? Why don't they shoot the tires?
Right. That would be, look, I was pointing point blank and I missed my target. So just imagine in that 3 seconds, how am I going to shoot the tires? And the ricochet, this is my biggest concern. I missed my target. My concern was, did my rounds go and hit a child walking on the street? These are things when you're in that moment of time and the adrenaline hits, you have tunnel vision. I'm not talking to my fellow officers. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm hyper-focused on the occupants of the car who ducked and eventually killed somebody. So the fact of the matter, I was exonerated. You don't have to be right or wrong. You have to use objective reasonableness. So the question, and that's what this is going to come down to, what's really bothering me is this political rhetoric on both sides. This is not partisan. Both sides are throwing bombs, terrorists, soccer moms. None of this is related to the facts of the matter, and that's all that this is going to come down to. He was not expecting to get run over by a car. I used to direct traffic right out here on 34th Street and 8th Avenue. I put my hand up. The anticipation was somebody would stop, not come and run me over. So I think this took everybody off guard. And it's an anomaly. Most people abide by what a police officer asks you to do.
All right, let's get to the next clip. We got Scott Jennings, which is a quick clip, Byron Donaldson, and we're going to get to Nick Sortor because I want to show Nick Sortor and what happened to him the other night, which was out of control. And just so you guys know, we support Nick Sortor's Sortors. I keep saying his name wrong. Nick Sortor. It's spelled like Sortor, but it's Sortor. Okay, Nick Sortor. His security. We support his security. We're trying right now to get him protected when he's out, and also Cam Higbee. We support Cam Higbee. Cam and Nick was in that clip I'm about to show you guys. So if you go to Blackline, we'll show you in a second, and the link is in the description section. I really need you guys to help us try to protect as many journalists as we can so they can do their doggone job without worrying about getting hurt or killed. But we'll talk about that in a second. And then we're going to get to Druski. But before that, let's get to Scott Jennings real quick. And I don't know why they got to put the dumbest black people on the show against them. I mean, it just make us look bad. Can y'all get some smart black people on there? And the black people are always wrong on their show. Always wrong. Roll the clip.
Do you think that it is possible that she was trying to escape the interaction?
Escape what? Escape what?
Yes.
Escape what?
Escape the
to our
interaction.
men coming to her car.
I'm speaking English. Do you think it's possible that she was trying to escape the interaction?
Was she in danger?
What part of escape is
you
understandable?
escape like as though she were being pursued.
Do you think it is possible that she was trying to flee?
Flee? Yes. And I heard her, and I heard her
given
wife
that,
say, "Drive, baby, drive."
But the intent does matter here.
It doesn't.
Because you are making it sound like that she showed up there with the intent to kill that officer.
I have never said that.
There's no
I have never said that,
evidence
Abby. Here's what I believe. She showed up there with the intent to impede active federal law enforcement activities. She put herself in a position with a car in which she made a bad decision that caused the officer to believe his life was in imminent danger. That is not in dispute. Whether she intended to do that or not when she woke up in the morning is irrelevant.
100% it's irrelevant. Like, because nobody can tell what's in her brain anyway. How do you not know she did intend to kill one of them one day? She set herself up that when they get in front of the car, they walk in front of the car, she's going to drive off and try to make it look like an accident. Try to make it look like she was just fleeing. And she had every intent to run over an officer. How do you know? That's why it don't matter, because you can't get in her brain. All I know is the tires were peeling and she hit a guy who believed his life was in danger and the lives of other people. Clearly, that's what he said. All right, let's go to the last clip, Byron Donalds spanking Tim Waltz. I had to add this one in there. Roll the clip.
You said earlier that the ICE agents under the orders of President Trump are a modern-day Gestapo. Do you realize how disgusting a phrase that is, considering the history of Nazi Germany? Would you like to recant that statement?
What I said, Congressman, and I have a long history of supporting law enforcement, I said President Trump was using them as his modern-day Gestapo, not identifying who you are, coming up in unmarked vans, taking people away and giving...
Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens in the United States who are here? Isn't that their responsibility?
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience. It's not an either-or.
Nobody said an inconvenience. He have a responsibility to deport illegal aliens, and the president is going through that process right now. And let's be very clear, the previous administration, they abused every process there is under border laws to allow more than 10 million people into the country illegally. And this is a burden on all Americans. And so the president is doing his job. So it is sick to refer to Americans who are ICE agents as Gestapo. Governor, you're wrong. You need to apologize to these agents. They're doing their jobs. They are Americans. They serve this country with honor and decency and respect. Do not diminish their work simply because you tried to make a cheap point.
I can end the show right there. I can end the show. I can end the show on Byron Donalds, future governor of Florida. Okay, let's get to Nick Sortor. We're going to get to Druski. And then I want to tell you guys about this transgender craziness that's going on because I couldn't let it go. A clip came up in my purview, and I said, I got to talk about it. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go to Nick Sortor. I always want to call him Soto. If y'all hear me call Nick Sortor the wrong word, for my guys in the back, just tell me in my ear or something or wave at me. For some reason, I can't read that good. My brain want to read what my brain want to read. So Nick Sortor, here's the clip of him getting accosted for just being out there reporting on what they doing. That's all it is. And these nut jobs want to assault you and stuff. I'm telling you, man, like, you ain't never seen them attack a black man. Have you ever seen a big, swole black man at a rally like that and he get attacked? No, because he be dropping bombs on people. They want to attack the white guy because in their mind, they see him as being a weak white dude and they want to attack him. And these ignorant women think they can hit men and men won't hit them back. Well, I tell you what, I'm an equal opportunist. So please don't put your hands on me thinking that I'm going to be nice to you. I got to treat you equal because I'm fair. I'm fair. Just like if a guy is 5'4" and he want to swing on me, you just as in a bad position as a woman. But I'm still got to get you. So don't play. That's like me going up to John Jones and saying, well, you a professional fighter, so you shouldn't fight me back. I'm not finna get choked out by somebody. If I can't whoop you, I'm not swinging on you. Okay, let's go. Let's watch the video. Roll it.
You only talk to women? You can't talk to guys like that.
Look at her grabbing his phone. He pulled her mask off. Now she mad. Then she tried to cover her hand. She tried to cover her face with her hands. Then they go there dropping bombs. God dang. The law enforcement ain't playing out there, boy. Hey, if you need to disperse a crowd, that pepper, man. That stuff ain't no joke, man. It burns too when you breathe it in. Here's another clip of Nick Sortor in his vehicle getting harassed. Roll the window down so we can kill you. That's pretty much what they're saying to him. Cute.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
I ain't gonna lie, the little Jeep got some power though. Had a little rumble in it. Now, can you see why I've been incessantly pitching for you guys to help out? Now, some of you guys can, some of you can't. I'm only talking to the people that have the ability to help out with the Guardian Fund. Let's go to that real quick. I just want to show you. Right now, here are the journalists that we are attempting to protect with all we have. And Nick Shirley, we got the other Nick, and then Cam. So I'm just asking you guys, if we care about the journalists and what they're doing and the things that they're exposing, just go on and drop them some coin. Even if it's $1 or whatever, this covers their security at 100% if we can raise enough for them. Nick Shirley has a good amount of fundraising that he's been able to do that have covered his security, but it ain't gonna last forever. The other guys, they're kind of new to the game. I want to make sure that they can get the adequate security so they can go out and do what they need to do. And this, whatever you donate, go 100% to their security, not to their pockets, not to my pocket. I don't take nothing from this nonprofit organization. It go directly to their security. And if you want to give a donation to them individually, just click on them and go right to their donation link and donate. If you want to donate in the general sense, which means that you want to donate to the general fund, hit that donate button, come down here and donate to the general fund, and you will see it on there. I'll show it to you real quick. If you go to an individual person, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a donation link, and it'll have their name on it. It'll have their picture and name. If you get to a donation link and you don't see their picture on it, then it's not specifically supporting the individual. It's going to the general fund, okay? So let's get back to Nick Sortor on the talking about the frozen bottles, and we're going to get him on Fox News. Let's just jump to Fox News. Roll the clip.
You said these people were trying to kill you. Well, if they pulled you out of the truck, I'm not sure they were going to give you a big, French kiss.
Right, exactly, Laura. And as you can see, the windows in the back there that were broken using the frozen water bottles. It's an Antifa tactic, very classic. They pre-position these frozen bottles that are like bricks all over the place so they can use them against people like me and federal agents because they're essentially weapons. You end up getting hit with one of those things straight to the head, you're going to end up with brain damage, and they know that. And so if I didn't drive away right then at that time, they were going to use them against me and my passenger, Cam Higbee, who was another journalist. And I'm glad we did. I thank the Lord that he told me right then to go. I gave them 15 minutes of warning to get out of the way. And I feel like that was more than enough time to, finally disperse out from the front of my vehicle. They had already broken a window. We were on the phone with Minneapolis police. And I was telling them, you got to get here. You got to get here because I'm not going to have a choice. If they try to disable my vehicle or they break a window, I have to go. So you guys need to get here and do something. And of course, they didn't show up. So this is the result.
No, they don't show up.
No, Nick, of course not. They never show up.
And unfortunately, in many cases, they're not prepared. They're not prepared to do anything. I remember when I got accosted at UC Davis. And they came out, the little weenies, man. I looking back on it, I was trying to save Charlie Kirk's reputation and save Turning Point's reputation by not having a big black man knocking out these kids on campus. But, I was close. I was like, no, man, I'm not finna let them not hit people in the head. They slapped a lady right in the head, right in front of me. I look at the cops. Are y'all gonna do anything? They didn't do nothing. They let them come tear our tent up. They were throwing stuff on people, hitting people. I said, I'm just going to stand my ground, and I'm just going to push them. I'm going to say, get back, and push them down. If I wanted to, y'all, the hood Tatum could have came out. The scrapper in me could have came out. I could have won fighting all of them by myself. That's how weak they was. The one on the bike that I pushed, I saw her soul leave. Her soul left, and it came back. And I thought it was a guy because they all wrapped up, so I pushed him and it went, eh. I said, dang, what's wrong with his voice? And he get up and said, I'm a girl. I said, you better get your down somewhere before I didn't break you in half in here trying to stand up to me. God, if I'd have known you a girl, I'd have just slapped you. I would have never pushed you that hard. But anyway, I'm joking, y'all, kind of. All right, let's get to Druski real quick. I just wanted to play something lighthearted, and then we're going to get to the transgenderism foolishness. But this was the funniest skit, 2 minutes. This was the funniest skit that I have seen thus far, mocking the modern, name it and claim it, GoFundMe church, Gummy Bear Christianity church. And I grew up in a black church, and this is probably one of the most accurate things when it comes to the energy behind some of the stuff they be doing. And Druski got some backlash for it because people at the church know that they wrong and they be doing stuff like this and they wanted to be mad at him. Be prepared to laugh. Roll the clip.
I'm going to have Wanda stand up here. Wanda, please. Wanda told us earlier this month that she could not have a baby anymore. So I impregnated her with the word of God. I'm going to impregnate everyone with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. You gonna get pregnant with the word of God. Impregnate. I had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise. So we are raising funds for a project in Zimbabwe. Yes, we are trying to get our congregation over in Africa. Amen. We wanted to raise $4 million for that. Amen. Yes. Hallelujah. That needs to appear today. We are not letting anyone leave until we reach our goal. Amen. Hallelujah. Life savings here. Give him some praise for that. Give it his life savings up. Apostle Richie says,
Apostle.
Baby, can you help me? I said, can you help me? I said, can you help me? I'm gonna finish this word here, and I'm gonna do the Christian version. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna do the Christian version. I'm driving this Bentley Bentayga because I believe in Christ. Can you leap on your legs like a survivor? Can you leap on your legs till the money fall out your pockets?
Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are, Jesus, you are. Still praise the Lord.
I need you to pray for my wife. Hey, come on, man. Hey, get your hands off my car. You gave tithes and offering? No. Shut the fuck up, man.
He spit on her. So people kind of got mad a little bit. I think a lot of people thought it was funny. I grew up in the church. I love the church. I love holiness. I love black churches. But we, when it's funny because y'all be in there cutting up. Let me just give you an example. If you think Druski was him being suspended from the air was extreme, this happened at a real church. Right here. Roll it.
And Jesus Christ comes again, and every eye will see him when he comes again. So here's our question for you this morning, brothers and sisters. The simple question is this right here. Are you ready? Are you ready for his return?
I watched that sermon a little bit to see how that started. And he was making a point, but it's just doing too much, man. It's doing too much. That's all I'm saying. Here you go. We got more. We got more that draws a connection, exactly what Druski did, to what they doing in the church. Roll the clip.
This is the place. It was me God told, not he told us. No, I told you. I told you what God told me. It's time to get the aircraft. It was not a discussion. It was God who told me it's time to get the aircraft.
It's time to get the aircraft. God done told you it's time for you to get an aircraft on poor people's money that they can't even ride in it. God told you to get poor people to put money together, get you a multi-million-dollar aircraft for you to fly in luxury. You're going to hell. Okay, here you go. And I love Pastor Marvin Sapp, one of my favorite people in the world, one of the best gospel artists ever. But this just didn't look good. I'm just going to play it. This is how they make fun of us. Roll the clip.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight.
It just didn't look good, y'all. I don't know what context that was. And I'll play this one, but Marvin Winans wasn't wrong about this. And I defend him on this one. It just didn't come out right. Because he told this lady before she came up there that everybody in the line is agreeing to give X. And if you're not going to give X, you could go to the next wave of people that he's going to call. This lady, and I've seen people do this in church all the time. This lady, instead of going up when she was called, she decided to go up when she wanted to go up, and it turned out bad. But roll the clip.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Yeah, so let me explain it, because I love Marvin Winans, and I'll defend him to the end on this one. If you watch the full context, he said everybody in the church can give, and give whatever you're capable of. Specifically, if you can give 1,000, come up now. And if you can't give 1,000, you'll come up next. And then if you want to give X, you come up next. I'll call you in order, is what he said. And please get up when I ask you if you are the person that wants to give in this way. And she got up and did what she wanted to do instead of listening. She should have gone in the second group instead of the first group. And that's why he had to say that. But it still makes us look kind of bad. Wrote a clip with this guy. And this guy went to prison. I think this is the one that went to prison. Is this the guy in New York? That fool got a Ferrari SF90 Spider. If you don't know nothing about the Spider, that's the drop top, okay? And that car is almost $1 million. It depends. On here it says it's worth $590,000. A SF90 base is worth about $590,000. When you start souping it up and getting special stuff to it, SF90 can get all the way up to $800,000, $900,000. Close around there. And this same one, I think this is the same guy. He kind of looks similar. If it's not him, there's another black guy in New York that looked just like him, where he got robbed at the church for $500,000 worth of jewelry. How do you have $500,000 worth of jewelry at the church? And the dude don't even have a big, I think it's 40 people in his church. He doing televangelist. Well, he got Rolls Royces, Gucci, Louis, as a pastor. Now, my thing is this. If you want to own that stuff and you work hard and you're a capitalist and you have a profitable business, you can do whatever you want with your money. But if you are a pastor and your source of income and revenue is from a nonprofit, from your church, where people will never make $300,000 in a year, and you spend it on a car that you don't even drive every day. You go and buy a $1,200 jacket. That's more than your congregation make in a single paycheck. And you, look, man, I want to be a billionaire one day. And not because I want to make a lot of money. It's not really that big of a deal to me to make a lot of money. I just want to be able to help people, and I want to have unlimited access to help as many people as I can. If somebody came to me today and I had a chance to communicate with them and they were genuine and their kid need to go to college or whatever, and I want to be able to say, oh, no, write the check, boom. A nonprofit organization like Blackline Security Fund. And I look at Nick Sortor, I look at Nick Shirley, I look at some of the journalists. I want to be able to like, I put $15 million in there. And I can cover every journalist, I can cover pastors, schools, anybody that needs security that can't pay for it. Or don't have the means to cover it. Easy money. That's what I want. But if I'm a billionaire and God called me to preach, there are certain things that you ought not be doing at the church. And to me, if I'm a pastor, I'm not going to drive my fanciest cars to the church. Now, I didn't have to drive some fancy cars to the church because I was getting off an airplane and I ain't had no other car, so I drove it to the back. Nobody saw it. It was down the parking deck ramp. Nobody saw me in that, and nobody saw me leave. But I'm also not the pastor. But if I was going, look, give me a little Tahoe, I'd drive to church in a Tahoe. You know, I got Gucci shoes or something. I'm just gonna wear my regular boots from Taft. They $200 boots, and they're really nice. They should sponsor the show. I'll wear one outfit. I'll either wear something like this, or I'll wear a one piece with the collar on it, the one solid piece. Therefore, I can wear whatever I want to wear underneath it. One piece. I don't have to buy suits and tie combinations. I ain't got to wear different stuff every day. I wear the same thing every day. And I would not take a single cent from the church. And I will find a way that if people are giving their money to the church, because I know on this side, the people are giving out of their heart and God will bless them for that. But on the other side, the church got to manage the money and do right by the money. I would find a way to find something to get people some equity and help them make money or something for them to be prosperous as well. There's got to be programs, after school programs, daycare for the kids. Like, we should be spending our time, effort, and energy supporting the congregation of people who are giving. I wouldn't take a dime. Don't pay me nothing from a church. If I'm already rich. Now, if I'm not rich and I don't have no money and all I do is preach and I have no other form of income, make a median income of the people who go to your church. Median income. Ain't no way that 90% of people in your church are middle, lower class, and you making millions of dollars a year. Come on, man. All right, we got one more clip. And then I'm gonna get to the transgender stuff. Because I just, it bothers me, and I think we need more people talking about these crazy leftist nut jobs who want to transition kids. But let's play this last clip. It's from a long time ago, but this is what they be doing.
Get some anointing. You put some up here. Woo, man. Woo. Put some money. Put some anointing on this money. You put something up here. You put. Prosper. Prosper, I said.
And your boy Creflo Dollar, which ain't even his real name, he up there doing that. They ain't raising nobody from the dead. Nobody's sins are being remitted. They not preaching the gospel. They not doing nothing. I mean, I don't know what they preaching, but that ain't gospel. They can cheer, scream, and all of that for money. But nobody out there getting up out of a wheelchair and walking. There's nobody with cancer being healed and delivered that I can see. I haven't seen them posted at all. So don't give me that sugar honey iced tea. One day I might be a pastor. One day I might be a pastor. Maybe God has called me. A couple people told me I should preach and be a pastor. But I want to be right. I ain't going to get up there playing with people and playing with God. I don't know how people do that. They get on there and they got their Bible open every day and they cheating on their wives and they out here calling up kids, manipulating people in the church. They out here spending money, being secular, got their wife dressing like a bimbo, and call yourself a man of God. And you read the Bible every day, you preparing sermons, and you still don't understand God? All right. I want to talk about this clip real quick. I promise you guys we would talk about it. I'm not in the show with this because it was amazing to me that states would have the audacity to fight against the ban of transitioning children. I don't understand. They can't drink, obviously. They can't watch certain movies, obviously. They don't consent to things at school or nothing when they're underage. But they can make a life-altering decision. Let me look at y'all. They can make a life-altering decision that's irrevocable at an age in which they have no consent. All right, I got a clip for y'all. I'm going to play it because y'all think I'm playing. Let's pull up that clip and then roll it.
Department of Health and Human Services, they're challenging a new declaration that restricts transgender surgeries for minors as unsafe and ineffective for kids. Caroline Elliott is live from Atlanta with more on this story. Hey,
hold on. Time out. I just want to preface this. We're talking about kids. It's not grown people. If you grown, nobody cares. I don't care if you grown. If you grown, you can do whatever you want to do with your body. We're talking about kids. All right, roll it.
Merry Christmas, Nate, and good morning to the both of you. So this is a fight that's all about transgender rights and if the government has the right to step in. So this lawsuit against the HHS says, quote, research and clinical data support gender-affirming care as a safe and effective treatment for gender dysphoria in adolescents. And for many patients, medically necessary gender-affirming care is life-saving. Nearly 20 states are arguing these choices should be up to the doctor and the patient, not the federal government. So where is all of this coming from? Well, last week, the HHS came out with a declaration and said gender-affirming care is not safe for minors. In other words, they want to stop puberty blockers, surgeries, things like that for kids. So the president and RFK Jr. said if doctors don't listen and do it anyway, then they could lose out on federal funding for Medicaid.
American taxpayers should not have to foot the bill for ideologically driven experiments on our nation's youth, and hospitals that we deem must meet the minimum quality standards of care and safety should not be conducting these experiments when we know so little about what is happening with our youth.
Again, y'all, kids. If these grown people, I wouldn't have nothing to say, but these are kids. But I have a guest that's going to come on and join me to talk about this topic. Ms. Kim Bright, founder of Brightcore Nutrition. Kim, like I almost had a stroke listening to the stupidity of what they're reporting and the fact that they're trying to manipulate the children. I mean, they speak about the doctor and patient, but it doesn't seem like they talk about the parents whatsoever. Can you help us understand this?
This is insanity. I mean, this is taxpayer money, by the way, that they're spending on these clinics to mutilate our children. And, they've been influencing, Hollywood has been influencing our children for so many years now. And the media, different medias and teachers, they're putting these things out for children that normalize this kind of thinking. And, look at what they're showing on Disney movies, Pixar. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And they actually they put out all this admiration and make the kids feel like this is normal and like it's very acceptable. And aren't you cool if you're transgender? And the whole thing here is just craziness, because I don't know if you know this or not, Brandon, but in order to even get nominated in Hollywood now, if you want to do a film, you have to include transgenders, you have to include all the LGBTQ, all this stuff. And you can't even get nominated unless you have that written into your script somehow, or, you've got people on set too that are like this. They are trying so hard and have been doing this for so long to normalize this insanity, with kids. And then they're actually now marketing transgender products to children with dolls and things like this. The making us, it's kind of like, when water drips on a rock, you don't notice it at first, but it just keeps drip, 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 drip over, a while, and then the rock is disappearing. All of this, our moral codes, the being normal is disappearing, and they're trying to make us all think this is normal. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, is issuing warning letters now to 12 manufacturers and retailers for illegally marketing a thing called a breast binder to children. That's to supposedly help them treat gender dysphoria. I mean, this is craziness. They shouldn't be marketing these products to our kids alone at all. Let it even be illegally. But the whole thing here is it's crazy. I just need to say this because, you know, I have to think about why. Let's think about why has it come to this? How did we get here to think that this is okay to do these dangerous surgeries? I mean, shouldn't we be looking at and talking to our children like, how did you come to think this? What have you been watching? Who's been influencing you? Has your teacher told you this is okay? Are you hearing it from your friends? I mean, shouldn't we be looking at, you know, the moral codes, the way that our children are thinking, how they've been affected mentally, spiritually, physically through all of this stuff before we start thinking that we should do these dangerous surgeries? And I mean, you know, there's a doctor, an assistant secretary of health, Christine, who said the evidence actually shows sex rejecting puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries are dangerous, just like we heard in that clip. And I think providers have an obligation to offer care that's grounded in actual evidence and to avoid these interventions that expose young people to a lifetime of harm. I mean, really, let's look at, you know, try you know, different things to help them understand who they really are, and look at it from a perspective of, have they been eating the wrong things? Are their bodies poisoned? Are their minds poisoned? Is their spiritualness, has it been affected? Because now we've got nearly 14,000 minors that have received these sex rejecting procedures between 2019 and 2023.
Crazy. And I think, you know, I have kids. I remember my kids growing up, and I never in my life would think that any decision that they made as a prepubescent teen is something that they understand thoroughly enough to deal with the consequences for the rest of their lives. I mean, even adults can't even figure this out, right? Adults don't always make the right decisions with marriage and everything else, you name it. And you're telling me a kid understands fully and thoroughly that they can have a surgery that completely changes everything about their anatomy and who they are, and that is a permanent decision that they are okay with and they acknowledge and they understand fully. That's not the case, in my opinion.
No, and another sidebar here too is look who's making a ton of money on this. Doctors that are either being ostriches, they don't want to know about it, or they're intentionally doing this because they believe in it. They're making tons of money. The hospitals they work for are making tons of money with these stupid surgeries, harmful surgeries, and the administrators that are bringing the business in. And it's just based on such falsehoods and indoctrination on purpose to make us all think that this is normal and that we should just understand that, you know, this is just a normal thing.
Yeah, and also, you know, when it comes to the root cause, right? I mean, God made us the way he made us. When we look at young people who are struggling with this ideology, you have to think it through and say, what is the precursor? What could be causing young people to feel like this, even if their feelings are genuine? You know, because we've learned that a lot of what you eat, your environment, and I'm not trying to be an activist, but like a lot of that stuff has a lot to do with the way young people's minds work. Like, for instance, I was looking up a stat the other day and it was talking about how the sperm count in young men, and there's an article, I think this is the article, related to the sperm count. Sperm count in young men have dropped tremendously. And I think men, and I think it's like the average age man now has a lower sperm count than a man at 65 years old. I mean,
yes, and
I didn't know you still going at 65. And the young people don't have, you know, what it take. That's crazy to me.
Exactly. And, you know, RFK's been speaking the truth about this stuff. He's been putting it out there. And doctors are just spewing what they've been brainwashed with in universities. These changes are happening in this new generation, and it's going beyond what's happening in the media. And as you said, you know, I've been helping people with their health for 50 years now, 51 years. And the actual physical changes are a result of the toxicity of the environment. I mean, they have been poisoning the environment in the air, the soil, the food, all over the place on us since the 50s. And if you don't think the accumulation of all those poisons in our body aren't having an effect on sperm count, alligators were affected by it in the waters. Toads, they're growing things where they shouldn't be growing them. Their whole fertility thing has gone down. So here's the thing, young American men, they do have a lower sperm count today than ever before. The average teenager has 50%, as you said, the testosterone of a 65-year-old man.
Crazy.
So it isn't, and I really think this all pulls back into what we were talking about, the transgenders. You don't think when you're ingesting all these poisons over generations that you can be affecting the mind too, as well as when you have all the propaganda around you in the media and Hollywood telling you that, oh, you can be a girl or a boy, or, it's insane what is going on.
Yeah, I think we got a clip, guys. Do we have a clip? Okay, yeah, we got a clip on lower testosterone. This is roll the clip.
Back with Dr. Jen, and today we are talking about a subject for the men.
Yeah.
Testosterone.
Low testosterone. So we talk a lot about women and dropping hormone levels, particularly in midlife around their 50s. This latest study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine looked at the incidence of low testosterone in men in their 50s, more likely to be associated with men who smoke or men who were obese, but also, there was a link between men with low testosterone level and what we call all-cause mortality, so death from a variety of reasons. So this is not just a superficial or cosmetic or vain issue amongst men. This is, correlated with potentially life-saving and life-risking issues.
That's interesting. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's right. And it's not just about the younger generations. It's affecting the health of men and women in all age groups. I mean, to me, this is so hormone disrupting. I mean, it's really causing hormone imbalances that then when you disrupt the natural flow of hormones, like neurotransmitters, it's lowering their function. The neurotransmitters aren't being able to be produced if the hormone levels are off, which is affecting your mind, how you think, depression, emotional health. It's manifesting in metabolic and weight issues. Imbalances in your thyroid affect your insulin. It affects your cortisol hormones, which can lead to rapid and unexplained weight gain or loss. You've got chronic issues like insulin resistance, which so many people have these days, and it significantly increases the risk of type 2 diabetes and obesity, of course. Then on top of it, you've got cardiovascular problems. You've got polycystic ovary syndrome, thyroid disorders. They're linked to a higher risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cardiovascular disease. And then you are dealing with bone and muscle loss. You've got the declining sex hormones, your estrogen and testosterone, that is now leading to osteoporosis, the brittle bones, the loss of muscle mass and strength. And then you've got cancer risk on top of everything else, persistent imbalances in our hormones. Like the estrogen and the testosterone, they're associated with an increased risk of certain cancers, including breast, endometrial, and prostate cancers. So what they need to realize, and a lot of people don't realize this, Brandon, is that both their hormone balance and their overall health are determined by the health of their gut microbiome.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last time. We talked about the subject of the stomach, the gut, which is like, many people say the second brain. I think that's very interesting. It's very interesting because I've noticed this trend, and it seems like there's a certain demographic of people that tend to fall for this or have these issues more so than others. And when you look at the overall health of some of these young people, the stuff that they're eating, that they're consuming, the fact that they're not working out, not exercising, it's like the environment, especially through the gut, is causing them to have all kind of imbalances. But we got another clip. I wanted to play this clip from Fox about gut imbalance. Roll that clip.
So there's some connection between all of the food allergies and peanut allergies that we see today and the microbiome. It's been described in the literature. This is a giant frontier in medicine that has not gotten the attention it deserves. Gut health is central to overall health, and we're just now recognizing it as a medical establishment. We need to be pouring money into research in this space. There is a lining of the intestine that has over 1 billion different types of bacteria, and when they live in an equilibrium, life is good. But when it's altered by the modern day diet and by antibiotics and other exposures, then what happens is that disequilibrium can cause inflammation, it can cause health problems, and it may be implicated in food allergies.
Yeah, me and my wife talk about this all the time. It's like people have more allergies than ever before. You know, back when at least my mother-in-law, when she come over the house, she talks about this often too. She's like, when I was young, there was peanut allergies, and everybody have all these allergies that wasn't around, several years ago. So it seemed like it's getting worse.
It is. Allergies have increased dramatically over the past few decades, and more evidence finally is pointing to the health of our gut. I mean, I was teaching people to focus on their gut microbiome 45, 50 years ago. So finally, science is catching up. And, I taught them that from the day you're born, you have a war going on in your gut. You have good microbes and bad microbes, bad pathogens in your gut that God put there on purpose for when you're dying, and it can return your body back. The bad guys come in and return your body back to soil. But we're not ready to die yet. We're not ready to have allergies and all these imbalances and chronic diseases from the overgrowth of the pathogens in our gut. We want to keep the good guys stable. We want to keep the good guys in a much higher amount in our gut than the bad bacteria. So why? Because this determines your health. Your health starts in your gut, or your sicknesses starts in your gut. So it affects your immune system. 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. And that affects how often you're going to get sick. Brain function, not just cognitive performance, but emotional too. And that can all tie back again to this transgenderism. Heart health, high blood pressure, high cholesterol is affected by having, either the good guys in the balance or the bad guys taking over. So you can have bad heart problems, or you can do really great with good heart. Obesity, is affected too with having an overpopulation of the bad guys in our gut. And the number one thing that you can do for your gut microbiome and your health is to consume kimchi, which is a centuries-old fermented food. And there is no other fermented food that compares to kimchi. I taught this for 50 years. I mean, kimchi has over 900 strains of probiotics. And sauerkraut, for example, a lot of people say, oh, well, I ate sauerkraut, or I drink or I ate yogurt or whatever. Sauerkraut, for example, only has 28 strains. That's a huge leap, 28 to 900. So you can see why kimchi is the king of fermented foods. And then, Brandon, I found this study. I think I sent it to you, and I was so excited to find this study, because this study measured the potential of the lactic acid bacteria that is found in kimchi to prevent, I said prevent, cancer. Now, let me quote from that study, if you will. I'm quoting right now. The antibiotic-tolerant probiotic presented in kimchi suppresses expression of carcinogenic activating enzymes and possesses many other health benefits, such as the suppression of growth and development of pathogenic bacteria, intestinal regulation, and immune boosts, especially the WC biara and L plantarum found in kimchi have many effects like anti-inflammatory, immune modulating, and blood cholesterol reducing activity, which may account for their cancer preventative anti-cancer potential, unquote. And cancer's the second leading cause of death. Number one is heart disease. And recent studies have shown that kimchi can help with that as well. I mean, when people consume kimchi on a daily basis, they are lowering their triglycerides, their LDL cholesterol, their blood pressure. And another factor, Brandon, that contributes to our cardiovascular health is whether or not we are obese.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Since the last time we talked, I've been taking kimchi myself, and I do feel an incredible difference. I mean, it does feel a lot better. It feels like my gut is moving the way it's supposed to move, and it's almost like without noticing, things are a lot better. The way you could think, sleep, I mean, everything. It seems like it's almost like a miracle gut supporter or something like that. I don't know the logistics and details around kimchi, but when I take it, it definitely feels a lot better. So here we got an article right here that we just popped up. Kimchi diet reduces body fat by 31%, 31.8%. And that's pretty interesting because, a lot of people, they struggle with weight loss and all of these different things. And I think this just, if they knew about kimchi more, they probably would be able to reduce some of their body fat and feel a lot better than all of these fake programs that people jump into that sound cute, but it's not sustainable.
And the drugs, look at how big Ozempic's getting. You don't need that, people. You need to just take care of your gut, of your microbiome, and put the good guys back in. I mean, there are so many studies out there that show that the consumption of kimchi helps lower your body mass index. It boosts your metabolism. It promotes smaller waistline. It improves your digestion and regularity. And I mean, when you're full of crap, you feel like crap. And when you've got that overabundance of the bad pathogens like molds and yeast and fungus and parasites in your gut, you're going to feel like crap. And you're not going to have energy, and you're not going to sleep well, and your organs and your bodies can't function normally. So the gut microbiome is the foremost thing to put your attention on. I mean, there are so many health benefits from kimchi that we wanted to make it easy for people to consume daily, which is why we created Kimchi One here at Brightcore. Now, a lot of Americans have taste buds that don't happen to like this Asian fermented food. They don't like the taste. They don't like the odor. So we created capsules with the same benefits, taking these 3 capsules a day, daily. So you get all these incredible benefits I've just been speaking about from the actual kimchi. And then there's a lot of people that have sodium, that have to control their sodium. And when you make kimchi homemade or you buy it from the store, it's high in sodium. So we have lowered the sodium way down, so you don't have to contend with that. Plus, we're 100% made in the USA, all natural, non-GMO. And Brandon, we have so many success stories from people taking Kimchi One. They call in, they write letters to us, and they're saying, this has changed my life. And just like you, they're like, I don't know, all of a sudden I can sleep better. I have more energy. I don't have that chronic fatigue. My brain's functioning better. My digestion is regular now, and I'm regular. I can actually digest my food. I feel like I'm actually getting the energy from my food. People that used to get sick all the time, they're now saying that, I used to have all these problems with my immune system and I got sick all throughout the year. Now I barely do, or I don't anymore. And then people that, again, chronic fatigue, so many people were suffering from chronic fatigue after COVID shots. Now they've got energy again. And people that have suffered hair loss, they're calling us and letting us know, my hair's growing back and it's actually thicker. It's healthier, it's shinier. And we've got so many studies to back that up too. They've done so many studies on kimchi helping hair growth and thickness. And again, people that had all these weird symptoms after 2020, 2021, and they couldn't pinpoint the cause, they're finally feeling better.
That's amazing. Now, I'm telling you, I feel the same. Last time we talked, I said, I need to get some of this kimchi, and I take it. It's good. And I can tell that if somebody were to take that, like without it being encapsulated, that it does have a strong taste to it. But, the pills make it super easy to take. And I think it's such a great product. I wonder, can you give my audience a special offer? I mean, do you have a code for my audience? So I know a lot of people that are watching this probably want to give it a try at least. Do you have something for them?
Well, yeah. I mean, Brandon, when it comes to this new year, and we are in January, and, we want to give everybody a chance to focus on improvements to their health. And there's several ways to do this. I mean, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, get more exercise, get out in the sunshine, improve your diet, or try and include this great product, Kimchi One, which has helped so many people. One way or the other, we want everyone to do something proactive to improve their health and start feeling better in 2026. So go to, mybrightcore.com/Tatum and use the code Tatum and get 25% off. Or call us at 888-751-4429, and we're going to incentivize you to call by giving you up to 50% off plus free shipping. And the first 100 callers are going to get a free bottle of our vitamin D3 plus K2 with their order. So, I've been educating people for 51 years now, and the staff here at Brightcore, they love educating you too, and they love taking your calls and answering your questions and making sure that you feel comfortable with this product, you understand the product, and that it's going to be the right product for you. So call 888-751-4429 and get up to 50% off plus free shipping, plus be one of the first 100 and get that free bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for blessing my audience once again. And thank you so much for coming on and kind of explaining the nuance that people may not be realizing when it comes to this transgenderism and the effects psychological effects that it has on your body when your gut health is terrible and all these chemicals are going on. And I really appreciate what you do and what your company does, because America needs true, better health options, and not people just trying to take your kids to the doctor or have your kids go to the doctor to manipulate them. How about we get to the root cause of these things? So, Kim, thank you so much for coming on. God bless you.
Thank you, Brandon, and God bless you too and your family, and have a beautiful, blessed day.
All right. Thank you. Man, that was a good interview. I really, the gut health thing is very interesting to me. And I'm not lying when I tell you I take the kimchi. When I talked to Kim Bright last time, I said, I need some of that kimchi to see what it's like. And I've been taking it, man, and it's good. And I'm telling you, now it's just me and you now. I could tell that kimchi is probably super strong when it comes to flavor, and I can see why people need it encapsulated. And that is exactly what I think the benefit of this is, that you don't taste it whatsoever. You probably get a faint hint of it, but when you have it in a capsule form, it's so good. But anyway, isn't that crazy though? Like this transgenderism stuff, and I don't understand why we can't go to the root cause of the problem instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on it. Transitioning kids, cutting their pee-pee off, all of that crazy stuff is a Band-Aid. There's a reason why.
Oh, the land of the free.